Hello wonderful people, welcome back again to Anointed Lady TV, the home of news and politics. And we drop news every day, and we also react to every videos that comes our way. If it is your first time in this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are returning subscribers, we appreciate you for your massive support, and we say may God richly bless you all for supporting this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please kindly smash on the subscribe button, put on the bell so you get to know anytime we drop a new video. I have a video to present to you this very moment, and I will be watching that video with you. And after watching, let's drop our opinion constructively at the comment section, like our videos, and also share our videos if possible. Bye for now.
We are not a failure. Nigeria is not a failure. This government has not failed. When you see a system that cannot lead a crisis at formative period, then the chances are everyone that comes along the line, the generation, will inherit it. No Nigerian problem started with this government, with the Buhari administration. Not one of them started during this time. Maybe as we move on, the problem has become more and more pronounced than before. I cannot deny that. There's more banditry today than there was at independence. There has been more problems with Boko Haram over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years than there ever was at independence. So I feel a sense of responsibility and duty to talk to government in a manner that government will understand me as a friend of government, not as an enemy of government. When we start shouting on rooftops, hey, some of the people with the strongest voices criticizing government, we put the way to try them. They failed. They failed. Some of them were given to executives from organizations in this country. They opened the accounts of those organizations in their own personal accounts. Those of you are old enough. If you doubt that, I'll tell you the name. I don't want to put people with a crisis, but we have them. And they are the staunchest critics of government. How many airports were there in Nigeria in 1960? Airports. Domestic airports. How many international airports were there in Nigeria in 1960? How many seaports were there in Nigeria in 1960? How many are there now? How many universities are there in Nigeria in 1960? How many do we have now? How many polytechnics do we have? How many colleges of education do we have in 1960? How many do we now have? How many hospitals, general hospitals, did we have in 1960? How many what do you call them? Specialist hospitals did we have in 1960? How many do we have now? Go down. How many secondary schools were in your state? What is now your state? In 1960, how many secondary schools do you have? How many do you have now? How many trunk A roads? Trunk A roads do we have in 1960? How many do we have now? How do you measure progress? Do you measure progress by just the banditry? Or by Boko Haram occurrences in Nigeria? We have a way of always comparing ourselves with some other places. Yes, it's a natural phenomenon. We all tend to do so. But the fact remains, Nigeria is not Ghana. Nigeria is Nigeria. We have a population of not less than 200 million people. No African country that I know has that population to feed. Yes, we failed here and there in terms of managing things and the rest of it, even at the government level. I admit this. I admit this. But let us not aggregate those samples here and there of what you can see as measurable failure as a failure of the whole country. No country, no matter how civilized, no matter how good the economy is, has no failings. See what's happening in America. Their democracy are more democratic than they are. are more civilized than they are. The education is their own education. The culture is their own culture. We still see cracks of failure. If you can protect a spare part dealer, yes, if you can protect a spare parts dealer, why can't you protect a husband? If banks, private banks, would be rescued, government will come with public funds through a central bank or whatever to rescue failing banks. With public, central government money is government money. It's your money, it's my money. Why do that? I cannot do that to rescue the husband from the problem he has to do. There are some questions we need to ask ourselves. When I was growing, they said to me, when you look at somebody, I say, yeah, you be shaggy. You see that? You be shaggy. Only one finger is pointing at you, maybe two. Big finger are pointing at me. So there's nothing wrong with modernization. I am all for it, but that is to add voice to the hues and cries already on the floor for government to address the issue of herdsmen. No matter how developed we want to be, we must develop along the lines of due process. The question that one asks is this: you talk about modernization. Yes. For heaven's sake, is it the fault of the herdsman that until today, the 21st century, he is left at the mercy of moving his cattle the only way he has now, through routes in the bush till today? While in the modern world you're talking about, I have seen it, there are trucks that they convey animals with. In the truck, there's water supply in it. They have water. In the truck, that's where they can feeding trough in the carrier. Okay? And where there's waste, there's somebody in the truck that would push until they get to a point where they can empty it from the vehicle. Do we have that? If we do have in this country, how many do you know? Have you seen? So the fact remains that you cannot punish any calling, trade calling, any means of economic pursuit. You cannot rest the evil on the poor Nigerian. It rests in the laps of the government. The government has a duty. And I've said so time and time and again, and I repeat here, the duty is that of the governor. But somehow, that of the government, sorry, somehow we have misdirected our political thinking and our political activism. We have refused, through unnecessary parochialism, we have refused to differentiate between genuine problems this country faces and face the problems and solve them collectively with the direction of the government. Rather than do so, no, we're looking for fault lines. We're looking for fault lines only. This is a national problem. We have to put our heads together and see how best government can fund whatever there is, whatever means there is, that we can modernize the things that we call problems today, and modernize the operations, we can minimize problems of, we can minimize the happenings, the incidents that accrue as a result of the inefficiencies or insufficiencies in the infrastructure.